Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. Today, Iron Man for Marvel United. Now, Iron Man, Tony Stark, big central figure from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How does he hold up in Marvel United? Well, I think the answer is pretty well. Iron Man's kind of like an everyman, bit of a jack of all trades character. He's got 4 movement symbols, 5 heroic symbols, 6 punch symbols, and of course the prerequisite single wild, double wild. He does a bit of everything, which is kind of nice, all in all. Half of his cards, double action, so half of them are single actions. And of those 5 single action cards, 3 of them are on the specials. We can live with that. I'd say, really, the only bad card he has, the single move card. But he's Iron Man. Iron Man moves around a lot. I can forgive it thematically. Again, I would have preferred him to not have just a single move, but again, I can live with him. And, I got to point out, he does have 2 double punch cards. And that's something not a ton of characters have. So, if you're looking for a character to front load on like Shang-Chi, we talked about him a few weeks ago. He has that double the punch icons in the previous card on the storyline. Iron Man might not be a bad character to go right before him. Gives him some options. Now, Iron Man's special cards, because let's face it, this is where the true differentiation of a hero comes in. We've got the Advanced Combat Analysis. Distribute 2 punch tokens from the pool among any number of heroes. Iron Man can give those to himself, so really this could be a move double punch card, or he can set other characters up. That's very handy, especially late game where it's, I can deal damage to the villain? Great, let me do that. I'm not in a position? Well, you're going to be? Great, you take those punch tokens. It's really a nice setup there. His next special is Stark Resources. Distribute 2 move tokens from the pool among any number of heroes. Again, late game, probably the best time for this, but it's also not a bad opening card. Really, it lets somebody get into a position where they can identify threat number 1 right from the start. We talk about like Rhino, where a character needs to get out, start creating buffer zones, you want to spread out. Basically, any villain where spreading out is going to be a good idea, Iron Man helps with that because, he brings a lot of movement. But then to be able to distribute 2 movement tokens, splitting those up, giving 2 heroes an extra movement, that can be really helpful. Or saying, hey, you character, you only get like 1 or 2 movement in your entire deck. Let me give you some movement tokens. That way you're going to have flexibility to have some bonus movement for you. And Iron Man's last special, Power Recharge. You may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So this lets Iron Man get in a position where he can take some damage, keep this card around or hope to draw it, and then he can play this, still do a heroic action, do whatever symbols are left to him from the previous card, and he gets to draw up. He doesn't have to get to a special location to draw up. Having those locations is great, but they're not always in the best position. They're not necessarily where we need to be right here, right now. Iron Man gets to draw up where he is, and options. Options are always a good amount, a good facility to have in this game. The more cards you have, the more life you have. The more life, the longer you can hang in there and not let the villain trigger their KO effect. So, Iron Man, I think, brings a lot to the table. Is not great in any given thing, but is a pretty good character for handing out tokens. I think he works well with Guardians of the Galaxy, who make great use of having these tokens and even their locations, which can discard a token to get 2 tokens. There's characters that use that. So if you're looking for somebody to kind of mix up who works with Guardians, I think Iron Man could be a nice change up for you. And Really, he just kind of makes everyone else around him better. Not the best on his own, but a nice add-in for everybody else. All right. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.